If it's in Hampton Roads, it's on the Hampton Roads Show.
Welcome to the Hampton Roads Show, everybody. Our live audience today is from the Virginia Department of Health WIC program, Women, Infants, Children. They're going to tell us more about this program in Virginia, who it benefits, and how you can find out if you and your family qualify.
We're in the kitchen with Chef Taylor Anderson from the Green Onion at Great Neck. He's going to make a brand new item on their menu. Hand-roasted duck breast with peppercorn red wine sauce, caramelized onion, and sriracha risotto, and a spinach and cherry tomato saute.
Oh my God.
Sounds great. Well, she eats, sleeps, and breathes the game of basketball. Coming up in this morning's I Am Hampton Roads, we sit down with ODU head women's basketball coach, Karen Barefoot.
All right.
We love Karen Barefoot.
She is, when you watch her story, she is just passionate as can be about the game.
She is the
And I love
Energizer Bunny. So much energy in that
But
woman.
you need that, especially in a coach, you know.
Yeah.
And you're around her and you feel like you're ready to go.
And I mean, I couldn't imagine stepping into the shoes of Wendy Larry. You know what I mean? A coaching legend. So there's a lot of pressure on Karen, too.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm sure she can.
And she used to be an assistant under Wendy,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
she knows all about the history of the program.
She's ready. She's ready.
And speaking of history and program, how can we not talk about this? Legendary Penn State head coach Joe Paterno was fired yesterday by the Penn State Board of Trustees after a child sexual abuse scandal. He has been fired for his part in what they're calling a cover-up, because he was alerted in 2002 by one of his assistant coaches that a former coach, Jerry Sandusky, was caught in the shower. Joe Pa was told about it. He immediately told the athletic director and then basically turned his back.
Yep.
And then nothing was done after that. So anyone involved in that case has been fired. A legendary coach like that, who's 84 years old, coached 46 years, who's done so much great things. He's the winningest all-time coach in college football, just like that, gone. And it's rocked the sports world, especially in Pennsylvania and across the country. It is leading the headlines everywhere.
Yeah. It is unfortunate that, as you mentioned, all of those great things that he did is not what anyone's talking about today. But I think it's significant that even Joe Paterno himself seems to have made peace with the fact when he says himself, I should have done more.
And that's what it comes down to. Bottom line, if anyone is involved with that, who sees child molestation at all, you have to follow it through. You just can't say, hey, this happened, and walk away. I mean, it's that bad.
Yeah, and all the way from the top to the bottom, you know, even the university president was let go, so.
Right.
And the rallies, I mean, just all the kids and all the entire town that is rallied around, they were outside of his house. It just goes to show, like you said, what great he's done, but you just think that he's not going to be remembered for all the greatness. He's going to be remembered for this one headline.
But I think the kids, you know, piling into the streets, they're just kind of reacting, you know, with emotion over, you know, the person that they love. I think if they really delved into it, you know, I think they would understand a little bit more, you know, the seriousness of what happened to these children. Of course, for them, they're reacting to what's happened to Joe Paterno, to what's happening to the image of Penn State. But I think with time and, you know, maybe, I mean, they're young, you know what I mean?
And you got to think about the victims in this case
I mean,
as
there's
well,
nothing
hopefully.
that can undo what was done to them, what was taken from them. Again, these are allegations, but I mean,
It is extremely sad on so many levels. When we're talking about Joe Paterno, somebody who's done so many great things, and the way his career ends, it's just a shame. It's just a shame for everybody, but something should have been done.
But he, you know, I mean, he had a choice, and he could have been a hero in a different way if he followed through and said, you know, look, I told you about this. Why is this guy still walking around? Why does this guy still have access to children? But, you know, it's a personal thing to everybody say. You know, some people have said, hey, he did enough. He reported it to his higher up, and then the failure was over his head. How much should he have done, you know, personally? How much would you have done personally?
Followed it through.
Yeah.
Really something else.
Yep.
Big
Make it
news.
big.
But you got to advocate for kids. They can't do it themselves. I mean, society's just not set up that way. Adults have to advocate for children.
Yes, pretty heavy topic this morning. What else are we talking about?
Oh, man. We're working with our buddy Anderson Cooper.
AC.
Yeah, this could hit a little close to home for some folks, too. Do you have that person in your family? Well, today on his show, he is going to confront a mom whose grown children are upset that this mother and grandmother, they say, does not act her age. They're embarrassed by her wardrobe and her actions. Now, the woman's 49, you know, which is relatively young.
That's young.
But we're asking this morning, do you have a family member maybe who you think needs to act a little more age appropriate or
like behavior and
position
wardrobe.
appropriate? Yeah. I mean, if you're a mom, do you suddenly have to stop doing things? If you're a grandmother, do you have to, you know, put the shawl on and be
I don't
quiet?
know. What are the guidelines? I mean, if you're 49, can you not wear, I mean, you have to wear mama jeans or whatever? I mean, what's the
Mama
deal on
jeans,
that?
no,
I mean,
or pajama pants.
What is she doing? I mean, I want to know. I mean, what have you seen from somebody that's not age appropriate?
I would think when you're 49 and if they're coming, the kids are actually taking the steps to bring her on a show such as Anderson Cooper. It's like when you see these other talk shows. Perhaps she's dressing just really kind of provocatively or maybe just trying to act young and cool and hip and not being a parent, let alone a grandparent. You know, there's a fine line between, I think, parents trying to be their children's best friends. You know, as I'm older, my mom and I, you know, I feel like with my parents, like we're friends, we're close. But when I was younger, it wasn't hey, I'm cool, mom, let's have fun. They were parents, so, but
I think it's tough to say what's age apparent. Like my little brother, for example, you know, he still, you know, does things like he did sometimes in his 20s, but, you know, is it age inappropriate or is it because, you know, he doesn't have kids yet and he can still, you know, like party and do things, and as long as no one's getting hurt, I mean, some folks would say, hey, you know, grow up, but I mean, he doesn't have to. Just, don't hate the player, you know what I mean? Hate the game.
I'm kind of curious to see how far this mom took it, 49-year-old. I'm just really
They
just
said
curious
it's
to see
wardrobe and behavior.
Yeah.
So apparently she's acting some type of way
Well, I mean,
and dressing some type of way. But I mean, there's a difference between, like, you know, the high mom jeans.
Right.
That's
Is
fine.
she
If
going
you
to
want
the
to get a
parent-teacher
different
conference
makeover,
like that?
that's fine. But when you got everything just hanging out that don't need to be hanging out.
Yes.
But then.
I mean, you said
Tuck
there's
it
a
in.
fine line, but
But
I
I
mean,
know you're like, what's wrong? Nurse costume.
Yeah, right.
We'll have to see. I mean,
There's
we'll
not-
just
I wanna
have to
see.
see. I mean, the
Oh,
naughty nurse, I mean,
Chris.
is she dressing like that? No.
there's a hard line, though, between where you end
Yeah.
and another person begins, you know? And if no one's being hurt, you know, maybe people feel like it's too much of a reflection on them what your
kids
mom
have never
does,
been
you
like,
know?
hey, Dad, no, please don't wear that, Dad. Don't
wear your mom jeans again.
Don't
My
come
son
looking like
told me
that,
last night I'm
Dad.
the coolest dude in the world, man.
Oh,
You got a big
man.
hug. I think it's because
good.
report cards are coming out.
Yeah, he's buttering you up.
He knows something's
Clear.
up, so.
Perhaps.
All right, tune in today at 4 as Anderson helps a family confront their mother, who is also a grandmother. Tell her it's time for her to grow up and act her age.
While you're watching, we've been talking about it all week. Keep an eye out for the Anderson Word of the Day contest. Then log on to WAVY.com to enter. Winners are going to receive an Anderson prize pack, and everyone who enters is eligible for that grand prize. 2 tickets to a taping of Anderson in New York City, along with round-trip airfare. We're going to announce the grand prize winner on the Hampton Road Show on Monday.
And Monday, of course, perhaps we've mentioned once, twice, 10 times, our David Culver got to hang out with Anderson Cooper for an entire day. The exclusive one-on-one interview is airing Monday, including a behind-the-scenes look at what goes into the show. Next Monday, David Culver with Anderson Cooper. ACDC for Grace right here on the Hampton Road Show. All right, and join our conversation, of course, by going to our Facebook page or follow us on Twitter, like Jeremy Wheeler does, at @HR_show.
That's right. I get on there all the time and make fun of
you
people.
now?
Yeah. I sit there and I type all these bad things about people, and I hit, before I hit send, I delete it
You're
all,
taking
and then I
revenge
take it all
on
back.
yesterday's topic.
So all the things that I say bad about people don't go to air, so people, you better watch it out there, because one of these days I may hit send. Or tweet. Or
You better
what is
watch it.
What is it when you
depending on who
tweet?
write about.
Yeah, that's true, too. All right, I'm not really that mean. I'm just kidding around. So just so people out there know that I really don't do that, because some people will be like,
Is this the part where Ariane and I are supposed to jump in and say,
He's not. He's really not.
He's a super nice guy.
I was
We're both
hoping that,
like,
but-
so we just sit here
but
quietly.
knowing you two, that I guess I'm not surprised. Anyway, let's take a look and see what we got out there for weather. And the fog burning off now. So the thing is, we get the clouds building in over top of any fog that's left, and there may be a few spots, but a few spotty showers today. Temperature lower 60s. And then tomorrow, it's chilly, high of 55. We'll see some windy conditions, mostly sunny. Then for the weekend, the winds let up again. Another nice weekend coming in. Low to mid-60s one day, mid to upper 60s another, and lots of sunshine. So great Saturday and Sunday ahead. All right, so here's the pop quiz. And Chris, you're not allowed to play today. Born in Georgia, went to Denby High. Plays safety for the Colts in 2008 Pro Bowl. So that should be a giveaway for some folks. But, sometimes I like to mix it up and just put the people in there. So, yeah, we'll see what we got up there.
All right.
HamptonRoadshow.com. Submit your answer.
Cool. Well, today's winner will receive a copy of Michael Jackson, Life of an Icon on DVD.
I saw some glassed over looks over there, Jeremy. You're like, what's this one? That's a tough one. All right, we're in the kitchen today with Chef Taylor Anderson from the Green Onion at Great Neck, and we're cooking duck.
Yes, sir.
Where's the star of the show?
The star of the show is actually staying cold in here until our next segment when we're going to get that started.
And what are we going to do to that duck?
Okay, so the whole preparation today was we're going to have slow-cooked, pan-roasted duck breast with a peppercorn red wine balsamic reduction. We have spicy sriracha risotto, and we're going to have a saute of spinach and cherry tomato.
So the taste is a little spicy, a
little
tangy.
Spicy. You're going to get a little of the gaminess, like a little bit, the fat from the duck's very nice.
Right.
It's a very good fall, winter dish. A little spicy, a little bit of bitter sweetness from the spinach and whatnot. The sauce is going to be like kind of a sweet peppercorn sauce. As you can see, we have a blend of peppercorns.
Like that?
Yeah, so it's going to bring a couple different elements to that sauce.
Okay, I know a lot of people might be a little intimidated when it comes to cooking duck, so we'll talk about that in just a minute. We're going to get started in just a moment.
All right, we have a little visitor here with us. It's Thursday, so it's our Hampton Roadshow Pet Pal of the Week.
It's not me, it's the dog.
No, it's not Jeremy. It's Jeremy. His name's Jeremy.
A first name and a last name for this dog. This is Patty Lupone from the Humane Society in Williamsburg. She's so cute. And she's looking for a home where people are home during the day. So maybe if you're retired or you have some flexible hours and you have time to sit on the couch with Patty, likes to sit on the couch.
Look how she is
maybe hang out and watch her stories. She's so cute.
Sitting upright.
Good lap dog.
She actually wants to get out. Do you want to get down?
Oh. You can call 757-221-0150 to adopt Miss Patty.
Yeah, she's a great size. A lot of folks may be living in situations where they have like that 25-pound limit or something like that.
A lot of apartments have that, yep.
She's great, little manageable size.
She's looking for a TREATS.
All right, well, we will, Patty Lupone is going to be hanging out with us throughout the show, and we will keep reminding you about how you can give her a forever home. Still ahead on the Hampton Roadshow, getting organized just got easier. Our friends at the Closet Factory have some great tips for de-stressing your entire home.
And she's known for turning around programs and racking up the wins in today's I Am Hampton Roads. We're going to introduce you to Karen Barefoot, who's about to kick off her first season as head coach of the ODU Lady Monarchs.
Welcome back to the Hampton Road Show. We're in the kitchen today with Chef Taylor Anderson from the Green Onion at Great Neck. He's going to make a brand new item on their dinner menu. Pan-roasted duck breast with peppercorn red wine sauce, caramelized onion and sriracha risotto, and a spinach and cherry tomato saute. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did. You're very good.
All right, hey, Taylor he's a longtime veteran of the Hampton Road Show. He knows how it's done, and he's going to cook us something really special. Get us started and tell me what you're doing.
Yes, sir. Okay, so of course the first things we're going to start off with are the elements that take the longest in the dish. So that would be, in this case, the red wine peppercorn reduction and the risotto. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with the risotto. What I have some hot olive oil in the pan. We're going to go ahead and add some diced red onion. Get that going. Get a nice sear going in there. Give that a good stir. And while we're letting we're doing this on like a medium-high heat as well. While we're letting these onions break down, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the sauce also. We have this diced shallot. And there you can hear that simmering as well. We're going to go ahead and get our peppercorns in because, the earlier started off with the oil and bringing the heat up. That'll bring out the flavors and soften the peppercorns, and it'll help the sauce develop.
Not too many, just a little bit?
Not a whole lot, and I want to kind of get, you see we have the nice blend of the pink, green, and black, and white. They all just kind of have a little bit of a different taste. So we have those sauteing off. We have our onions going. Once the onions start to caramelize, we're going to add our arborio rice.
Right.
So risotto is not actually a rice, it's the process of cooking the rice. And that is, like, we have the onions. We're going to go ahead and add some of our arborio rice.
Now, do many people cook this at home, risotto?
My mom never did,
right?
But people do. Yeah, it's more, it's an Italian dish.
Right.
My mom always cooked very great food, but not necessarily risotto.
Yeah.
So we have this going. We're going to toast up our the arborio rice. It's going to bring out the flavor in that.
How long
so
will
we're going
that
to let this all in all will take about 30 minutes to cook from start to finish,
Okay.
as well as this reduction. We see that our shallots are starting to get nice and golden. We're going to add a little bit of garlic to that. And then we're going to get our red wine in.
Any red wine will do?
Any red wine will do. This one is more of a sweeter one. That's what I prefer for this flavor. Actually, do a little bit more. We're going to do about 1.5 cups of that, let it reduce until it gets into a nice thickness. So that's pretty much, that's all we're going to do at this moment. We're going to let it keep reducing. So we'll just see how let it keep going. You see we got our arborio toasting up really nice. You can almost smell the toastiness of it. We'll give this a good stir. Once, after 2 minutes of stirring that, you're about to be good to add first dose of red, or your only dose of red wine, or white wine. To get that in there, to coat the bottom. And as you can see, you don't want it to really go over the whole top. You don't want to drown it with the wine. You just really want to get in there to start developing more of the flavors.
Seems like a really big pan to be cooking risotto in, but
it is. Well, what I prefer it to do in one like this as opposed to one of the deeper ones.
Right. So
because you can see it's a lot flatter. You know, it's thinner surface. You can get a lot of stir in there. When you have one like this, you pour your arborio rice in, and it'll be really, it'll be halfway full. So it's a lot thicker. This just prevents, burning and just cooks evenly all the way through.
Well, that makes sense. Got about a minute to go. What else we got here, Taylor?
Okay, so I'm going to explain some of the stuff that we have going. This is sriracha. We're going to have a risotto. It's going to be caramelized onion sriracha risotto. This is a Thai hot sauce that's very good. You can get it at your local grocery store. You can get it at the Asian food market. You can get it, wherever you want. Very good. Right here I have a chicken stock that we've done in the restaurant that I actually did last night. And this is going to be the next element going into our risotto. Okay. So what we have so far is you got the onion in, you've got the arborio rice that you toasted with olive oil and the onion. We've added our first dose of white wine. And what we're going to keep doing throughout the process with the risotto is you add small amounts until it covers the top.
You're going to keep adding it?
Yes, throughout the whole process, yeah. So what this is going to do is the stock starts to absorb into the actual rice. And you don't want to drown it out because you can overcook it that way. Right. So you're adding it in small amounts so that you don't add too much liquid and that you don't overcook the rice.
And I guess that's really important because that's really going to give it the flavor.
It is. It gives a lot of the flavor. If you're, like I do sometimes at the restaurant, if you're vegetarian, this can be, well, not necessarily with a duck, but the risotto is can be a vegetarian item. You can use any sort of vegetable stock. You could use red wine instead of white and make like a beef base out of it. There's a lot of versatile things that you can do with risotto.
Okay, so we've got this going, and we're going to bring out the main course in just a few minutes. We're going to get to the duck. Taylor, great job so far.
Thank
the green
you.
onion, and can't wait to get tasting this.
Thank you.
All right, well, you may have heard people talking about Asperger's syndrome lately, but very few people really know what it means. Joining me now is someone who certainly does. Helen Elder is the mother of a Chesapeake Bay Academy student with an Asperger's diagnosis, and she's here to share her experiences using CBA as a diagnostic assessment resource. We were talking a little bit before we got started that I think people know that it's a school, but may not realize that it's a resource if you've got questions about, that your spider senses start tingling, as yours probably did with your child, to find out what's going on.
Right.
Thanks for joining us.
Sure. Let's see, I actually sought a diagnosis for my son when he was starting a full day of school in first grade. Yeah. And he was just not connecting with his peers. He would walk around the fringes of the playground. He was melting down during transitions, and spent a couple years through the public schools trying to deal with that, and pulled him out, homeschooled him a couple years. Yeah. Was still seeing some deficits, and went to Chesapeake Bay Academy to the Dominion Educational Services for a diagnosis, and mainly on what those learning differences were, and it really helped me to come up with some better strategies for helping him to overcome those weaknesses.
What is the biggest difference or the biggest thing that I was going to ask the difference between Asperger's and autism? Right. Or the biggest thing that you would say helps people identify, okay, this is a child with Asperger's.
Right, that's a good question. Actually, that's probably the one that at a clinical level, because I'm just a parent, would separate the two. Because with Asperger's, you have them perseverating on topics. So they're often highly verbal.
Yeah.
And so they seem like this little professor. They can talk incessantly with a very high vocabulary, correct people, even teachers. And so they can come off because they have sort of a monotone voice and they're very pedantic in their speech, very authoritative and almost rude. And so they might get corrected a lot by the teachers for being disrespectful, which isn't their intention. They just want to get it right. So the biggest one to get the Asperger's diagnosis is that perseverative talk and an obsession, Pokemon or mythology, dinosaurs, and they know, all the dinosaurs and their names and full names, not just, Tyrannosaurus. And it's and they will correct anyone.
You mentioned they have sometimes those sensory, those social shortcomings, which makes it all the more important for these children to be around people who understand them.
Right, because they don't recognize those cues. And so they need to have someone interpret social cues for them. And since 90% of our communication is nonverbal, and they relate to a verbal world. They need someone who can interpret their behaviors into language for them and help them to interpret what they see in other people into language for them, to help them. I call it verbal roping, and if you verbal rope the steps for my son, he does much better. And so that helps him to transition.
The good news is that with the right resources, these kids can do very well. And I'm sure when you look at what was going on a couple of years ago, there seems to be a piece about you that he's on the right track.
They have come up with strategies at school where I really thought I was going to have to be in there every day helping them, and I haven't done that. Good strategies, coping strategies, and small classroom. The children there are guaranteed at the lower school a 1-to-6, 1-to-5 ratio. So you've got
allows for those individual needs to be
and that
met.
helps a lot. Smaller classroom sizes.
All right, Helen Elder, thank you so much. We didn't get to talk about all the things that we certainly could talk about when it comes to Asperger's syndrome, and also remembering that Chesapeake Bay Academy is a resource for diagnosis and evaluation especially, as well as a school. Their next CBA Cafe event is on a topic that we talked about in recent months as well, the journey into dyslexia. If you'd like more information about that, it's November 15th. You can email cbacafe@cba-va.org or call 497-6200 if you have questions or concerns about your child, whether you suspect they may have Asperger's, autism, ADHD. They are experts in these things. Visit their School of Thought blog or call them or visit them online, cba-va.org or call 497-6200. Helen Elder, thanks so much for coming on and telling your story, and we're glad to hear things are going well for you and your child.
Thanks.
It is time now to talk some basketball. She is a proven winner that has made history in building programs, winning championships, and producing success in the classroom as well as the community.
Now Karen Barefoot is bringing that same passion and drive to the Hampton Roads area as head coach for ODU's women's basketball team. Check out her story in this morning's I Am Hampton Roads.
There you go, there you go. I am Karen Barefoot. I am the new women's basketball coach at Old Dominion University. I always had a passion for playing the game since I was 5 years old, and my brother really pushed me and got me playing against the guys and told me I wasn't good, and the guys told me I wasn't good, and one day I was pretty good. So, I've had a great journey, and my basketball career actually helped me be one of the youngest head coaches at 22. 17 years, getting after it, having fun, teaching. I love it. And so now I'm at Old Dominion. I think this women's basketball game has grown to be the best. This year, you look at some of the athletes, they're faster, quicker, stronger. The three-point line has extended. The shooting is better. All around, it is just a fun game to watch. So for me, you're going to see us really get after it, pressure the ball, up-tempo style, but really a team that, we don't care who starts or who finishes. A team that, is so strong and has each other back that it doesn't matter, who scores the points or who does, who gets the rebounds. It's just about us winning as a result and sharing it with our fans. I'm somebody that, I want to be the best basketball coach in the country. Every job that I've taken, I want to be the best. I like being a life coach. I appreciate by the end of the day that I've given my heart and soul to everything I've done, and those kids are getting better, because when they graduate, that's the happiest day of my life, to see them go on in their next journey in life and to see them make a difference and give back, you know, that to me is a reward of coaching. You know, I'm very hands-on. I'm not afraid to get out there, show them how to take a charge, show them how to take it to the rim, show them how to, you know, shoot a jump shot. I'm not afraid to play defense against them when they're not pressuring like they should practice. I mean, I'm going to do whatever it takes for this team to win. And, you know, like I said, I'm going to put my heart, soul, and everything I got. And that's just me. You know, the game is so fast. You have to problem solve. And I love being a leader. Here we go. And I love being in situations where it's not always perfect and helping my team overcome those situations. And I refuse to lose. I'm so competitive. It's something my brother taught me. My family has always supported me watching me play. And so I really think it made me be a very competitive you know, player, but more importantly, a better leader on and off the court. We have nothing to lose and a lot to gain. And every day that I walk in the Constant Center and I look at those 3 national championships, and I look at them and I stare at them, you know, where Marion Stanley, the head coach here in the and back in the day, she, you know, she did some amazing things. And, you know, I want to do this for this university. I know it's a process and it'll take time, but, you know, I'm ready to get that 4th crystal ball. Well, 2005, 2008, I learned that the Old Dominion fans definitely are the best fans in the country. I knew it growing up, but definitely experienced it being an assistant coach. I really enjoyed working under Wendy Larry, and I really enjoyed just teaching the game every day. And one of the best times of my life was in 2008 when we went to the Sweet 16. And, you know, to go to the Sweet 16, we won in double overtime to Virginia. And that was a special moment that I'll never forget. And to be able to look up in the fans and to see how excited everybody was, it gave me chill bumps. Dream big, and do not let anybody tell you you can't do it. You know, Henry Ford, our former president, said, whether you think you can or can't, you're right. And there'll be days when you feel like you can't, but you can. So stick with it, work hard, but have fun. My name is Karen Barefoot, and I am Hampton Roads.
All right, well, don't miss. The Lady Monarchs open their season by taking on Virginia Tech. It's a home game, and all the action tips off tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. You can call 683-4444 or log on to odusports.com for ticket information.
Karen Barefoot is bursting at the seams with
told
energy.
You. She is passionate, and I like that.
And she's got to play my Hokies as her first game, so good luck.
She told me to tell you hi, too, by the way.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Karen Barefoot.
All right, well, speaking of coaches, not so good on this one.
Joe Paterno.
Penn State.
Legendary coach. He was fired yesterday, and they are making sweeping changes at Penn State University among a sexual abuse, a child molestation cover-up.
Crystal on Facebook says, good, and they should be brought up on charges, too, for not calling police or doing anything. Jen Williamson says, I think this whole situation is sad. All this cover-up for years is terrible. They should have taken action a long, long time ago. And Mike B says, yes, I think it was appropriate. Would have been better if he resigned, which he was going to step down.
He said yesterday he was going to step down at the end of the year after 46 years of coaching there. But something had to be done right away. Yeah. And what's sad is, you know, we're not talking about Jerry Sandusky, the guy who actually did the accusing, who did the sexual abuse. We're talking about Joe Paterno, who sort of turned his back on it.
Kind of didn't do anything about it. Well, you may want to turn your back on some family members if they're stepping out, acting all types of ways, dressing all types of ways.
Turn your back on them.
Not turn your back, but, you know, if they're wearing...
Let them know.
Well, Anderson Cooper, we're kind of following with his theme. He's talking to a family that's embarrassed by their 49-year-old mother and grandmother who are just dressing and acting all types of way. So we asked, do you have someone in your family like that? Mike B says, no, I guess that makes me the one who dresses that embarrasses them. Richard Clayton says there's one in every family, and if you don't have anyone that you can think of, guess what? It may be you.
Oh, no. Well, see, I can't think of one in my family.
Well, I'm just saying, Chris.
Oh, well.
I'm just saying.
All right. Well,
I don't want to say that. No, I'm just kidding.
Thanks for chiming in. Appreciate it. We're going to have a few more in a few minutes.
All right, well, we want to send out a Hampton Roads show way to go to Chesapeake native Dave Thomas. Dog lovers were asked to write and sing a jingle describing the good times that they share with their dogs.
And Dave was one of the 5 finalists in the Wagon Train Tail Wagon Jingle Contest. He got to go out to Nashville a couple of days ago to perform at a private event for country music star Trace Adkins.
Now, although Dave wasn't the grand prize winner, he and the other runner-ups were all treated like winners with tickets to the 45th Annual CMA Awards. Nice. That aired last night. Congrats, Dave. And, of course, way to go. All right, still ahead, decluttering your home can declutter your life. Up next, the folks from the Closet Factory show us some great storage solutions for your home.
And don't forget our pop quiz. You could win Michael Jackson, Life of an Icon on DVD. Just log on to thehamptonroadshow.com. Click on the pop quiz button on the right-hand, top right-hand corner of the screen and let us know if you know the answer.
To introduce you to our studio audience today, sometimes eating healthy and wholesome foods can be expensive, and if you're trying to feed a growing family in these times, it can be very challenging to get that done unless you know where to look for help. Our studio audience today is from the Women, Infant, and Children program known as WIC, assisting families in getting those healthy foods. I want to introduce you now to Catherine Walter, who's going to tell us more about the program.
Hi,
nice
thank
to meet
you very much. Is that,
I'll hold on to this.
Thank you. Well, we've been getting a lot of questions about WIC because of the ads that have been on WAVY TV in the evenings, and a lot of people want to know how can they fit in, does it apply to them, what are the benefits?
Yeah.
So I was delighted to have this opportunity to come on and just answer some questions.
Yeah.
All right.
People have questions about the kinds of food that they can get, and I saw that there were things where people can buy produce, meats. People may not realize that.
No, it's quite balanced now, and the issue about WIC is that it's a health program. It's part of the Department of Health, and our goal is to help moms through pregnancy with things that they need, information as well as food, help support their breastfeeding, and kids up to the age of 5 when brain development is kind of on its way. So we're there for periods of rapid growth, and we provide education all the way through, but also nourishing foods, healthy foods, specific foods, not much choice there, and it includes all the milk, eggs, juice, cereal, cheese, dried beans, peanut butter, salmon, tuna, fresh fruits and vegetables, fresh canned or frozen fruits and vegetables, whole grains, and then infants have iron-fortified cereal, fruits and vegetables, and then if they can't totally breastfeed, formula is available also.
Yeah. You were saying that this is a health program to get healthy foods, but people may be surprised to hear that if they're making $40,000 a year, they qualify for this kind of assistance. Do you feel like people don't realize how many people could qualify for the help?
Right. I think there's a misconception that it's related to Medicaid. However, a working family with young kids usually is at the beginning of their earnings.
Sure.
And, so a family of 4 can earn up to $41,350 or so.
Yeah.
And the kids, it's based on the number in the family, but unborn children count as members of the family, so that helps.
I was reading, too, as soon as someone has a positive pregnancy test at home, they can contact WIC to find out, and I know we're just about out of time, but I know Karen out down here, you want to say something very
Shout
quick.
out to Virginia Beach. WIC shines in Virginia Beach.
Okay. All right. In fact, WIC shines all over the state. We have some information for you if you want more information about the Supplemental Nutrition Program. These ladies here are from Portsmouth and Virginia Beach today. If you visit www.wicva.com, that's the information about the state of Virginia, and there's an 888 number, a free phone number there, 942-3663, and we've got the information there, too, if you are in the city of Portsmouth, as we are here at WAVY TV, about how you can get more information about the Supplemental Nutrition Program, but it is available to everybody who qualifies in our area as well. So if you're struggling out there, get the help you need for those healthy children. Thanks so much.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Taylor Anderson from the Green Onion at Great Neck is here, and we're cooking duck and risotto. We're going to wrap it all up in just a moment, so stick around.
And, of course, remember, you can adopt our pet pal of the week, Patty Lupone. Call the Heritage Humane Society at 757-221-0150, or just log on to heritagehumanesociety.org.
We're back in the kitchen today with Chef Taylor Anderson from the Green Onion at Great Neck, finishing up this delicious pan-roasted duck breast. And Taylor, okay, risotto looks finished. The red wine has reduced.
Yes, it's still reducing. We've got a little bit longer on the red wine, but yes. What I've done with the risotto is it was done cooking, so I put it off into its separate, kind of shallow pan, so it's not stacked up. You don't want it to overcook that way. We're going to keep this off to the side, and we'll reconstitute it with some cream, The onions are in there, and we'll add the sriracha, and that will make the risotto for us. So what I have here is I already have some duck in the oven roasting, but we're going to show you the process of getting that duck going right now. As you can see, we have our duck breast, skin on, fat underneath. What we're going to do with this is we're going to score it skin side. And you don't want to get into the meat on this. You see I'm cutting like just into the fat and the skin. Just into the fat.
And why are you doing that?
What this is going to do is we have, and you see I have the heat on with no oil in it. We're putting the score in there so that the fat will hit the pan and all the natural fat will break down and render, and that's what the duck will be cooking in. So you see we have this scored about 4 times diagonally, and the one down the middle. Get a little bit of salt and pepper on here. Both sides. And when we put this in the pan, we're going to do skin side down, like I said, so that the fat will render first.
That's instead of using oil?
Yes, instead of using oil. And you can hear that nice sizzle going on. Duck is something that you're going to want to cook on low heat. It is poultry, but it's not like chicken. It's something that you can order medium rare to mid-well to, of course, well done. And be very good for you and actually brings out the better flavors in it.
And some people are intimidated by cooking duck, but you shouldn't be intimidated. Just give it a shot, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's not like chicken necessarily. It's a little bit of a longer process because I already had some started, as you had saw, that's in the oven. But yeah, I mean, it's more, you know, it's very hearty. It's very, you know, it's gamey. Our duck right here, you know, it's not wild, it's farm.
Right.
So it's not as gamey, but it's, you know, it's a nice, that's what we want in the restaurant. We don't want to overpower people's palates with, you know, the fresh game because, like you said, people can be intimidated by the duck.
Now, I know this is a new on the menu. Have many people been trying it?
Yes, they have actually. Like last time we were on the show, we did our salmon dish from the fall menu that we rolled out at the beginning of October. And this is one of our other dishes that we're featuring on it. And yeah, people are really enjoying it. You know, it's something that you really, if you haven't had duck before, you need to try.
Give it a try.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's simmering right now. We keep flipping it over or what?
We're gonna let that go for a minute. I'll wash my hands real quick. You're gonna let that go, and until the skin gets a nice golden brown. And you can go lift it up if you want. We'll take a look at it and see.
So we're doing.
So you see that right there? It's not quite as gold as we want it, so we're going to let that go another minute.
Right.
And with duck, when you're starting it off, you don't want the pan too hot.
Right.
Because you put it in fat side down, and that fat and the skin will shrink.
Well, yeah.
And it'll curl the duck, and it'll cause it to not cook as properly as you'd want. So what I'm going to do now is get started after we'd had our risotto cooled off, or off the heat.
Got about a minute to wrap up. How can we? Are we on time, Taylor?
Yeah. Yeah.
Taylor is a pro at this, man. He knows his way around the kitchen.
Okay, so we're going to get the heavy cream going in here.
Get the risotto in.
Yep, we're going to get a little scoop of our risotto.
To sort of finish off the taste of it?
Yeah, like this. This is a vessel pretty much now. You can do whatever you would want with it. You know, wild mushroom, anything like that. At this point, you'll see duck's nice golden brown. We're going to flip that over. We're going to let that cook about another 4 or 5 minutes on that. Since we didn't season our risotto,
here's the real
sriracha, yeah. Since we didn't put any salt and pepper in the risotto as it was cooking, we're going to do it as we reconstitute it.
Very nice.
Get our saute of spinach going. Got our olive oil. Our reduction's looking just about done, so I'm going to pull that off and let it cool behind us.
Okay, while you finish this up and plate it up, tell us about the restaurant. What do you got going on right now?
Our main thing right now that we're really trying to promote is that we do lots of catering and holiday events.
Sure.
Just a couple days ago, we had an event for a bunch of executive business partners, and they came in. We did them their own separate menu. You know, they wanted something kind of eclectic and different. And you know, we worked with them. We were able to get that out.
All right.
And they really loved everything.
Taylor is working hard, and they'll do just about anything you want at the Green Onion, as he just said. And this is his duck dish, and it looks wonderful. He's getting ready to add a little bit of risotto.
Yep.
And as you can see, the weekend brunch and lounge menu. Thursday night is a martini night at the Green Onion at Great Neck. $5 martinis. Friday is Teacher Appreciation Night. Discounts on food and drinks. Lunch Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. to 4 with $8.99 specials. November 14th, wine tasting. Now's the time to plan. So we're going to come back in a few minutes and check this out. Taylor Anderson, great job.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
And still ahead on the Hampton Road Show.
Are you looking for new ways to manage household clutter? Well, we're getting organized with the folks from the Closet Factory as they show us some great home storage solutions.
Welcome back to the Hampton Roads Show. We are buzzing about, I don't know, inappropriate behavior, and one coach who was just let go yesterday and last night. Joe Paterno was, he received a phone call, and he was told, you are relieved of your duties immediately after 46 years of being the head man at Penn State University. This coming after a sexual abuse cover-up of child molestation.
And as you said, now that person's name has not floated to the top today. It's Joe Paterno's name that has floated to the top.
Well, it's always seems to have been about Joe Paterno when it's actually Jerry Sandusky, a former defensive coordinator there, who was the one who's been charged with child molestation. But Joe Pa is the boom.
And the president of the university as well.
Along with the athletic director. Anyone involved has been let go.
Pretty much a clean sweep, and families of the victims probably feel like that's appropriate. You know, at this point, so many years later, what can Penn State do to show that they care about the allegations now, if it seems some folks didn't do enough then? Amber said, she said she thinks it's a bunch of junk. Paterno followed PA state code to a T, and it fell within the president to do something. They needed a scapegoat, and they got one. Do I support what happened to that little boy? Absolutely not. I think it's appalling, but the attention is on the wrong person. Edith said he did report it to his boss when he received word of the incident. From what I had heard, he reported it to his chain of command, so to speak. He acted correctly, but his boss did not. His boss got the axe as he dropped it.
And we're also, Anderson today, they're going to confront somebody who may be age appropriate, who's not acting their age, maybe doing odd things. Well, Louisa says one of her members of her family wears wildly patterned Hawaiian shirts, and hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I wear them too, so come on.
Someone in Chris's family says, yes, we have something like that. All right, we've got to move along.
Thanks for buzzing in.
All right, well, if you saw the show yesterday, we showed you how the Closet Factory can help de-stress and organize your home. Today, we make our way upstairs to see what other space-saving things that they can do. Check it out. We're back at the beautiful treasure chest / organizational home at Homerama with Tammy Sullivan, sales manager for Closet Factory, to show you what upstairs looks like. We showed folks what downstairs looked like. So now what are we getting into coming upstairs?
Well, as soon as you come up the staircase to the landing, we decided to put the gaming and workstation here. Up top, we did great amounts of storage, even L shelves that rolled around the corner, so we didn't lose any space there. To the left of the staircase, from the landing, you'll find the media room. What we wanted to do in the media room is put cabinetry in here that's functional enough to serve as a bar. So we did a wet bar and a refrigerator, of course, but our cabinetry will then give you enough room to keep your stemware and your glasses and your plates, so you can actually have a meal up here. Everything has under-mounted task lighting with a dimmer switch on it, because you want this room to be dark, but when you're using this cabinetry, you want to be able to see it. We decided to use a room for crafting. We thought, what woman wouldn't want her own space to do all the things she does, gift wrapping, scrapbooking, and she doesn't have to put it away. The hidden bed has two functions. The first is a desk. It's a workable desk with a quite big work surface. But when you need it to be a bed, that's what it becomes for you, a bed. If you watch the bottom of the desk, it stays flat. So you don't have to move anything off the bottom work surface when you want it to be a bed. So we're in the girls' room, and I was really excited to show you this closet because it's just so perfectly designed for a teenage girl. We started with the center section here, this bank of drawers. The third drawer down happens to be a place for her to hide her diary. It's a false bottom drawer, so no one knows it's there because her clothes are on top of it, and it has a side lock so no one can get into it either. We did lucite dividers on the right here for her purses, valet rod, that temporary hanging spot, a hamper so it doesn't take up any floor space in her bedroom. Flanking the window, we did tall cabinetry, and under the window, a bench with drawers. She can sit here and read a book, look out the window, and all of this storage is really why we wanted this bench. So here we are in the boys' room, the boys' bedroom, and golly, there's no bed.
Where'd it go?
Well, what we wanted to do is give him the maximum floor space that we could, so we designed a Murphy bed for this room. So when he needs a bed, all he does is pull it down out of the cabinetry, and he has his bed. But when he doesn't need the bed, he's got floor space.
One of the other neat parts of this home is the garage, aka the man cave is what I'd call it, and we thought, why not bring in the owner of Closet Factory, Jeff Brzezzi, to tell us about this and why so many men would go crazy over this.
Well, Ariane, this is a great space. There's tons of storage in here. We have these great deep drawers for big items. So yeah, I mean, this just gives you, a wealth of storage in your garage, and you can hide it.
An organized closet can improve your day, but an organized house can improve your life.
Closet Factory is located at 2632 Production Road in Virginia Beach. You can give them a call at 486-2726. And we're all talking the Murphy bed was completely awesome.
I saw lots of places you just like get in the big drawer and hide from the children when they're looking for you.
To yourself.
I want that garage. I want that garage.
The garage, I know.
I want the garage.
Cave. Yeah, just call the Closet Factory. They'll hook you up.
Nice house. All right. Let's take a look at the pop quiz for the day and the 4 clues. Here you go in case you missed it. Born in Georgia but went to Denby High. Plays safety for the Colts. 2008 Pro Bowl. Pretty straightforward clues, but you got to either know it or you don't. So
I don't know, and I didn't have access to Google.
Sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
Antoine Bethea.
That's right. Good job. Yeah, that's Antoine Bethea, and yeah, Pro Bowl 2008. He's
got a ring.
A good career there.
He's got a ring.
Ooh, cool.
He's got a ring. And how about this? Remember, you can adopt our Pet Pal of the Week, Patty Lapone at the Heritage Humane Society in Williamsburg. Call them at 221-0150 or log on to heritagehumanesociety.org. Miss Patty, do you like duck?
She's as big as a duck.
All right, well, the winner for today is going to receive that Michael Jackson Life of an Icon DVD.
All right. So, congratulations. We will be in touch.
Patty Lapone.
And we'll be back.
Patty Lapone.
What's the duck?
Taylor Anderson from the Green Onion at Great Neck. So many great tastes going on in here. Love the red wine sauce. The duck is very tender.
Soto is yummy.
Well. This is definitely worth a try.
It's good. Yeah,
it's
the
wonderful.
duck.
Very good.
Green Onion.
Looks great.
In Hilltop, right?
Yes, 1336 North Great Neck Road, Virginia Beach.
Okay. We want to thank our studio audience today. If you would like to learn more about how to qualify for nutritional care assistance feeding your family those healthy foods courtesy of the Women, Infant, and Children.
Oh, look.
We'll put that information at thehamptonroadshow.com. That's good.
Yep.
You're a weatherman. How fitting.
Save that for a rainy day.
It's a stress zone.
But I'm ching. Hey, I want to thank Karen Barefoot for letting us sit down and talk with her. And remember, they play Virginia Tech tomorrow. It's the women's basketball team's first game of the season. And also the Closet Factory. Get organized.
For Virginia Tech tonight. Virginia Tech plays Georgia Tech. Football. Big game tonight.
Really?
So, yeah, it's going to be a great game.
Avoided that whole basketball question.
Again tomorrow. Hey, tomorrow. Live Music Friday?
Oh,
yeah, right. And Jay Medicine Hat is going to be here for Virginia Beach Funny Bone. So you can find
hypnotize you.
everything on thehamptonroadshow.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Bye.